Please pardon me. Executive Director and Founder, Shield Them Support Organization. Welcome. Good day, all. I feel excited
Thank
to be part of this. Yes, thank you, ma'am. We're excited to have you here as well. I just wish you'd rename yourself. It's showing Xiaomi. I wish I could call you by your name and not, yeah. So, welcome, and thank you for being a part of this meeting. Dr. Precious Williams, Clef, good afternoon, or good afternoon, ma'am. Good to see you here. Yeah, Oladayo, good to see you here as well. Roxana, Executive Director, Roxana Ozomena Foundation. Good to have you here. We're super excited that you're a part of this meeting. Thank you. Thank you. Um, oh, yeah, Johanna Daniel from Abuja. Okay, so I'll remember not to call you Johanna. The call. So we'll wait so that we do not waste any more time. We'll just start and try to keep the time. Oh, Shoala. I hope I got it correct as well. Soala, Shoala. Is okay. Please, Evelyn, kindly confirm you can hear me now. I think network tripped up for a bit. Oh, yes, thank you. Yeah, so my name is Comfort Ayua, and I work with SOA Initiative, and it's really been a pleasure hosting this, or it's going to be a pleasure hosting this. Yes, I'm joining from Makodi, like I was saying earlier, Makodi, Benue State, and I am thrilled and looking forward to this meeting. Thank you so much. Just a quick reminder, we are doing so well already, but let's all remember to keep our microphones muted just so that we do not, interrupt the flow of the meeting. And well, feel free to use the chat box, chat section if you have any contributions or any questions, during the course of this meeting. Thank you very much. So, on behalf of Sexual Offences Awareness and Response Initiative, I warmly welcome you to this meeting today. Um, SOA Initiative works to create safe spaces, raise awareness, and respond to sexual and gender based violence while empowering women and girls to live with dignity and agency. And our session today is designed to be interactive. Yes, we can't do this, just us. It has to be there to reflect and to engage. And without wasting much of our time, I'd like to invite our Executive Director, Mrs. Chinyere Eyo, to give us a warm opening remark, welcome remark, and also to share with us, our theme for today. Please use the emojis and the react buttons to welcome, to clap, to send love, and all of
thank
that.
you.
Thank you. Over to you, Ma.
Thank you, Comfort. Can we hear me? What a time to have my
Yes, Ma.
network. Wait, I'm really having trouble. But it's a pleasure again. A month ago we were here and now we are here again. And it's another exciting and engaging topic. Thank you, everyone, for giving us this 1.5 hours of your Sunday when you should be resting, to be with us here. We really appreciate you. We do not take you for granted. Everyone here, every woman, girl, young lady, whatever status it is that you or position it is you occupy, you will agree with me that being a woman no be more, juggling so many things and overwhelmed, you know, um, with having to do all that we do. There's the imposter syndrome about whether we are doing what we're supposed to do well enough. Sometimes we feel we are cheating family. At other times, we feel we are not um, contributing our own in the workplace, and then we are confused. At this point in my life, I'm supposed to be doing so much, extending themselves, but you feel stuck where you are. At certain other times, it seems as if you're not giving your family all that you're supposed to give. And then I'm also interested in hearing what the perspective of our Gen Zs. And so we've brought for us um, a panel that I would say is well versed. They know their onions, and we are really glad that they could honor this invitation. I want to thank Mrs. Kemi Okenyodo, who agreed to be here. Thank you, Ima Bong Sanusi, my sister. Thank you for being here. And then for Toby Olabode, thank you also for agreeing to do this. So without wasting much time, I would say thank you once again for joining us and happy deliberations. Over to you, Comfort. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Yes. So because this is a virtual meeting, we're looking forward to all of you using your React buttons. Just keep sending the love and the encouragement. Yeah. Thank you so much. And so we will now move to our very first speaker. Um, Okenyodo is a lawyer, a policy advocate, and development practitioner with over 20 years of experience working to strengthen justice systems and promote accountable policing in Nigeria and across West Africa. She is the founder and executive director of Partners West Africa and Nigeria, a women-led organization focused on rule of law, community safety, and inclusive governance. Over the years, Kemi has worked at the intersection of policy and real-life experiences, engaging with communities, institutions, and leaders to address complex justice and security challenges. Much of her work has focused on amplifying the voices of women and ensuring that systems respond more effectively to their realities. But beyond her professional role, Kemi is also navigating the everyday balancing act many women know too well, managing leadership responsibilities, family life, and the need to prioritize mental well-being in high-pressure environments. She's passionate about mentorship and creating honest spaces where women can share, reflect, and support one another. And today, she'll be speaking on the balancing act, roles, pressure, and patriarchy. And so, with warm welcome, again, we're using our React buttons. Join us to welcome Barrister Kemi Okenyodo. Ma, over to you. She's experiencing a bit of network. We know what our network is like. So she's trying to join us. Yes, I can see she's here. Um, Barrister Kemima, we've introduced you and we're waiting to have you share with us.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, loud and clear.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. This is part of the challenge of technology. And then this is real life example of balancing because I'm at a family event that I can't but be there. So I had to jump into the car to take the webinar.
Thank you so much for doing this, ma'am.
So can I start?
Yes, ma. Sure.
Okay. Okay then. Like I said, this is real life example of balancing um our role as mother, wife, homemaker within the family and within the professional space. So when people tell us that is there a balance, I would say that I don't think there's a balance. We just constantly need to negotiate under pressure. It's like being a medical practitioner or somebody that runs a shift and you're running parallel shifts. You're running different shifts on different lanes, but you just have to find a way of making it come through. And while we're doing that, it's tasking us emotionally, it's tasking us within the social front, it's tasking us as per, should I say, our domestic or private responsibilities at the home front. So within my own personal space, as Kemi, myself, then as a daughter, as a wife, as a mother, um, then as a career person. They're different compartments. And at times these compartments overlap and often in very demanding ways. Expectations from family, expectations from work at times can be very intense. Let me tell you a quick story. My son is on holiday. So a lot of times when he's on holiday or when I pick him from school, we go back to the office together. So last week, I think it was on Tuesday, he said to me, he said, Mommy, how come you don't share an office? You're not sharing your office space. Everybody in your office share their office space. I said, oh, no, I didn't answer him. I continued with my work. And then on Wednesday night, I had to tell him that I needed to make a trip to Niger. And for him, when you say you are traveling, it correlates traveling to holiday. So I told him, no, I'm not on holiday. I'm going for work. And then he went away and then came back and then said to me, said, Mommy, don't they pay you well in your office? That office that you are not sharing space with anybody, right? And then you still have to travel for work and it's not for holiday, it's not for leisure. So you can imagine in his own head, in his 6-year-old mind, he's saying to me, you're sharing my space with work, right? So if we travel, we're supposed to travel together and have fun. And then if you're saying you're traveling for work, that place you go to every day, aren't they paying you well enough that you now need to travel again to go and get money? So we had to have a conversation around it, but it brought to me again to the forefront the intentionality of how we need to cope in these different spaces. It's not perfection. Nobody has it right. It's not perfection. Um, I have learned to put in place a support system at home and a support system in the office. So for those that know P1, you know that we're not only a women-led organization, we are mainly a women-based organization. We're 99% women. So what does this mean? Why did I go that route? I went that route because I knew working within the ecosystem, the challenges we have as women, trying to launch our career, trying to be within our career space, and at the same time, be mothers and have all our other domestic, personal, private responsibilities. So I wanted to model an organization that could allow us have that balance. We're still work in progress, right? Because I have times when some of us would need to work from home, right? Right now, we're running a hybrid process. Even after COVID, we continue to run a hybrid process. Why are we running a process? So that we can still be at home to do certain things and work from home, right? And then we can still come into the workspace so that we don't lose our mind because there are certain things we need to get away from the home front. So it means we're constantly negotiating and constantly redefining our space, and I would say that support, clarity, and shared responsibility is something we need to be more vocal about, and we need to engage more, and we shouldn't be suffering in silence. And I'll stop there. Do you want me to go on to my next question?
Yes, mom.
Okay, so I can transit easily, right?
Yes, mom.
Um, from what I've said, most of us would know, I mean, where I stopped. One of the things I've noticed is that society seems to normalize this burden that we are carrying, right? So it seems to be um, naturally expected that we should go this route. You're a mother, you should know you're a mother, even though you're a lawyer. You're a mother now. Even if you're not a mother, you're a woman now and you're a doctor. So you should know that there are certain things that are expected of you. Yes, but they do not acknowledge the extra things we do in the private space, right? And even we as women, at times we go on and think that this is how it's supposed to be, right? And so for as long as we think it's how it's supposed to be, um, some of us will remember the days we need to wake up. We need to wake up in the middle of the night because you remember you've not done A, you've not done B, you've not done C, you have this report you need to send out. Wave to me if you wake up at 2 a.m. at times to send in your reports for your line manager. You have a proposal, there's a time to go through your child's communication book or the homework the day before, and you need to go through it, right? Or you remember that there's a family or extended family that is having one event. They had sent you an invitation. Then you remember, oh, is it this Saturday? The Ashwebi is sitting on the table in the room. I've not made it, right? So all of this is demanding. All of these are things that people, they don't give us credit for it. But you find that you just need to do it, right? And we don't have an off switch. We just keep going. We keep going. We keep going. We keep going. Um, Recalibrate again. You are the primary caregiver. You are the boss in your office. You have aged parents. Some of us are in that realm that our parents are over 80. You have siblings that have jackpot outside the country. So probably if you are like me, you are the only girl in the country. Daddy stays in another state, right? I need to ensure caregiver is paid, caregiver gets his allowance, takes daddy's vitals every day and make sure he sends to me. I send to my sister outside the country. I send to the doctor. You are triangulating so many things. All of this is work, is responsibility, and its contribution. However, we still need to find a way of designing our space to make sure that we can accommodate, and there has to be adjustment. Adjustment in marriage and family life is not control, it's not silence, it's that is doing yourself more harm. It needs to be negotiated. I know that religious says something, right? At times when we sit in church, when some of the scriptures are being read, I tell my husband, yeah, it will read that way because men wrote the Bible. I have not seen which of the books that women wrote, right? So if they are going to write it, they'll write it from their own perspective. So I can understand why they're talking the way they are talking. However, hey, take off your lenses. Jesus was a feminist. He he acknowledged women. He had a strong say in the independence of women. He had a strong say in seeing women for who we are. We birthed him. We took care of him. We followed him all the way to the cross. We didn't even just get to the cross and turn back. We kept going back to the tomb to go and check to make sure that the body is there. When he first rose, he saw us first before he saw the men, right? So give us our flowers, right? You guys just wrote the Bible to suit yourself, but we know where we stand, right? And that it's that adjustment that needs to take place. It needs to take place in the mindset of those that are primary caregivers, even our spouses, the men in our life. for us not to take it that it's a women's thing, right? This conversation needs to be framed within the ecosystem. They'll say do no harm, but we might need to do a bit of harm because we'll hurt the egos of the men, right? So when you get into some of these relationships, and I'll use marriage again as the one that comes to mind primarily. When you are negotiating a relationship with a man to get married, they'll be telling the woman, you know, you need to adjust. You know, you need to adjust. You know, you need to adjust. When you get into the marriage proper, they'll tell you, you know, you're a wife now. You cannot do this. You cannot do that. Please, what happens? What do you tell the men? They can do it all, right? And of course, you don't want to see your wife on a sick bed. You don't want to see your wife go through depression. You don't want to see your wife hypertensive. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see her, if you care for her, constantly beat down over things that she's doing for both of you. You need to show up and be there, be visible, right? So for me, I would say that, and I'm rounding up now, that when we're talking about societal norms and cultural context, this is where sincere with ourselves. For us as women, we need to love ourselves. Even I negotiate with it. Even I still system of having to say, Oga, please hold yourself, right? But with the kids, right? So at times when I want to take time off for myself and say, go and meet your father, I beg, now two people born you, right? At times once they are moving up and they give you that soapy face, you start feeling guilty. But for each